everyone that worked on this project, it's always so abstract up until actual people are in the place. Before that, you don't really know you don't know what you're doing.
Now, the last thing to do is to declare the Remai Modern Art Gallery of Saskatchewan open to our community and to our world.
The Remai's been a long time.
This building behind me, the Remai Modern, has been a fixture of Saskatoon's skyline.
World-class art gallery in Saskatoon, the Remai Modern.
What a day for the city of Saskatoon, the province of Saskatchewan, and this country of Canada.
The first half of the project is much more creative, and then the second half, the latter part of a project, is much more like what is it called? You have to be a people person or something like that.
And you are.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm right there on top.
We're working on designing the identity for Remai. Here everyone is involved in everything from the beginning to the end.
We are encountering a lot of situations that we didn't think we would.
The website is a major thing from my end because it's the voice of the museum outside Canada.
Now we're finishing up the signage, making the final push before the opening. This large exterior sign is going to go on the second level above the entrance. It required a lot of legwork from a lot of engineers and all these different people, so the coordination was really intense.
We are down to the wire at this point, making sure that it gets to the printers because it absolutely has to be ready for the launch.
So how is Gregory?
Yeah, he was good on the phone. He sounded very upbeat and chipper.
Yeah?
I think they're all very excited.
He's excited to see us?
Yeah, I hope so. I think so. But he's also excited that this thing is going to open.
Wow.
In 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, so we talked about the museum. What else?
This was like an in-depth discussion about the museum. Fuckers.
Is that Photoshop?
No. we waited months for that cloud. So with Remai, this project started 2.5 years ago, and we got an email that did look like spam. And we almost deleted it, but we didn't, and it asked for a proposal issued by the city of Saskatoon. We did a quick Google search, and yes, it existed. Saskatoon existed. We of course went there on a fact-finding mission.
So we were really, really interested.
We were awarded that project, and you have to ask them why, and I guess you did, right? Our story is because we were the cheapest, right? No, that was theirs.
They were competitive price-wise with design companies here in Canada and even in Saskatoon. But that, of course, is not the reason why we chose them. The reason we chose them is, you know, because they were what they had done previously. Like they were just a little. They were just a They were outside the box.
We just moved from Manhattan to beautiful Queens. We love it. We have more space, we have a garden, much more relaxing.
This is nice. That feels very authentic.
The underwear? It is, yeah. We did not put it up for you. It's real.
Legitimate.
Yeah. We have vegetables and fruits.
Are they white carrots?
Yeah.
So it's not ready to eat.
Yeah, it is. You wanna have it?
Well, not right this second.
I'm not gonna shove it in your mouth. No.
That'd be weird.
That would be weird. Yeah.
We are a fairly experimental graphic design studio. The way that we approach design, we just go and try everything.
It is definitely a very positive thing to be an outsider, especially for what we do. In this particular case, we could ask questions that we didn't know were frowned upon, or you don't ask this. We could just ask openly and freely and we would get a pass. So when they came, we very openly shared with them basically everything that we thought of.
Some of the things that we showed were so dumb and so bizarre. We thought about using the river, to use the kinetic energy of the river, that over time, over years, the signage gets very slowly turned, squeezed. This hanging sign was supposed to be the heaviest logo type ever, and it just is suspended on the corner of the entrance there. This would be a type exploration. The building itself is very stretched and horizontal. This could be easily made into a bigger system. There was this one seed in there very early on that we didn't really know what to think of. When we showed it, like, I just had to laugh, like, ha ha ha. Yeah. I don't know how insecure.
When we designed the logo, we had a fear inside of us, and I think that's a good thing. Being like, this is strange, and how will people react to it?
You're always kind of wondering why, like, is this a mistake?
It makes everyone look twice. What is happening? What is this? So I think it's great.
When you see it in the Grand Prix lineup of logos, it really expresses the aspirations. We want to be direction setting and take a place in the world. And we like to, not take ourselves too seriously in the process. So, yeah, I think it works.
We just kept working with it. We introduced colors. Should it be shown small, large, extra large? Is that thing with a lower upper? Does it work for every other name? And then we just made the decision, that is it. And that it is a strength of it that we feel slightly uncomfortable.
It would be nice to have this kind of experience in the publication. Something.
Oh, what was that?
What's this?
Okay.
I don't know if this is in line with your thinking. So that we have the two yellows on the outside.
Can you show us again?
Which is there?
This is the cover.
With all this, you never fucking know what's going on. It's like you just try to do your best every single time, and then what are you gonna do? But these are all these little things, like trying to become, I don't know, growing as a person, growing as a designer, being more professional. Like, all this is a little strange, and we're doing our best, but in the end, you just never know. I mean, we just at least trying.
I don't remember seeing Jan as stressed out. I think this line from Gregory in the cab.
We had a discussion. I said, he was trying to find out what we wanted. I said, I want the best thing that you've ever done.
And in the beginning, I was like, haha, yeah, yes, of course. But then that just kept on popping up. And
it just was this spark of we just have to do something unusual or
we had to do something very special.
And he says that's haunted him ever since.
Hey, do you know why there's two R's, a lower and upper R?
No idea. No, I don't. I really don't.
But you made sure it was spelled correctly.
Yeah, it's spelled correctly. It's got the pattern. It's got a big M and a little m too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remai Modern.
We all know these projects where, even in the back of your mind, you have someone else to blame. And in this case, there was absolutely no one else to blame but us. This is the real deal. Like, this is a good thing. This is the thing. A project like this is like one of the perfect projects for a design. As it happens, the museum itself is on Treaty 6 land. This fact was supposed to be part of the identity, that it is acknowledged that it is on First Nation land.
Having Cree syllabics as part of our visual identity, it provides sort of a marker for reintroducing and acknowledging that cultural identity. And it becomes more and more familiar the more that you're exposed to it.
We worked with a professor of Cree to find out the proper way of writing the actual location of the museum. For the actual programming, we wanted to use something else. When we were there on our first trip, we went to the city library. They had a little room there with archival material. So we rummaged through there and we found the Saskatoon Sentinel.
We took inspiration from a local newspaper that was circulating around the 1800s, and it was handwritten and literally passed around from house to house, and they have all these tilting mechanisms and these graphic lines.
These angled headlines and double, triple underlines. We were very intrigued by its amateurishness, as we are intrigued by you guys. So this is how all the curated programming will be announced. And then, of course, all the online platforms we also did and are still doing.
For me, it's always exciting to work on Remai because I know it's gonna be different.
So welcome everybody. I just have a short song, but half hour.
The opening of a new museum offers a unique opportunity. Museums can and should be places of civic engagement, which not only reflect the world, but also imagine it in new ways.
You could hear it in the room. They were like, this is going to change everything. We're so proud of it and so optimistic that this is going to, that they have something to rally behind and to be proud of. It seemed just so surreal. It felt really good to be in that room with all the donors and everyone that worked on this project. It's always so abstract up until actual people are in the place. Before that, you don't really know you don't know what you're doing, how it feels.
On screen, I've seen it in a digital form, and having it actually placed large scale on a building, it's very rewarding.
We sit on our computers back in New York, but the building is enormous, and Jan's trust in our learning process is a bit baffling. I don't think if I was in his shoes, I would put the same trust in myself. He always talks about like going 100% into all of these things, like we're either gonna do it or we're just not gonna do it at all.
Coming here was actually just phenomenal to actually see all the art pieces up, all the signage system.
It would have been cool though, no? To have this chain and logo.
Of course, yeah.
This would have been so ridiculous.
I think the nice thing about this project is, like a lot of times you do, I don't know, a book jacket or a book or a video, and it kind of just goes away. I think here it's different that people just interact much more with it, and it's gonna stay for years to come. I'd like to come back maybe with my wife, son, in 2 years or 5 years and walk around and see it again.
We are such a diverse group of people. We're all from different walks of life, and we come together as one, as a unified team, and we create magic.
So much work has gone into this by so many people, so much generosity. Finally, I think I can relax. The establishment of Remai Modern has been driven by questions for what would it mean to open a new museum, and particularly a museum of modern art, at this point in history in this place. And it may not be the largest museum in Canada, but it's the most beautiful.
What do you think about the scale of the museum to the city?
I don't think it fits the whole population. I don't think 250,000 people fit in there. That's my guess.
I thought they did.
But
I actually thought they did.
But they might.
Yeah, if you squeeze them in there,
Yeah.
you can.
In layers.
In layers.
And I guess if you use the parking garage, the parkade downstairs, so maybe.
And the balconies. They have a couple of big balconies.
Another question? Another fantastic question, please.